impact on the team?
You know, as we've watched him grow in practice, really from the onset, I thought there could be a period of time where he could become important to our team because his style is so much different than everybody else. You know, he's an offensive rebounder. He's a tremendous athlete. He had a couple turnovers, which is expected playing that many minutes as a young player when you haven't earlier. But he's clever. He understands when to pass, when not to. And I was just really excited to see it because that's kind of how things are supposed to go, where a young guy just fights, scratches and claws his way into the lineup, doesn't give up on himself, stays with it. And I believe that he'll be a big part of what we do this year. And certainly, I mean, if you watch him, you know that his best days are in his future. But his offensive rebounding and just his playmaking gives us a different feel and a different look. And first 20 minutes of this game was among our best basketball of the year. We moved the ball really well against the zone. We played good defense, good offense. And without Justin Coleman, you know, at the forefront of it, I think really made us feel really good at the half. But with the type of team we have, we had a hard time putting two halves together. And Colorado deserves some credit, but we had just some plays that are head scratchers throughout the second 20 minutes. And we went from playing maybe our best or among our best ball in the first half to maybe some of our worst ball in the second half. And I was just happy that we were able to hold on, win, talk about it, learn from it, and move on here to Utah on Saturday.
Why was Justin coming off the bench tonight?
Justin suffered a dislocated shoulder in Monday's practice. It's really the only bad thing that happened to us since we've returned back from the break. Our guys have worked really, really hard. We've had great practices and really a focus that, you know, as a coach when a team is locked in and focused, and then when maybe you have to beg them. And with as many practices as we've had since we've returned from Christmas, it's a great sign for our team that we worked as hard as we did. But he got the dislocation. We didn't know how bad it was. Could have been real bad. I think in the levels of a dislocated shoulder, he's at maybe the best level. He's already made tremendous progress. He's a really tough kid. And the only reason we played him tonight was he's not at any further risk to hurt himself. And sometimes you never really know until a guy gets out there. So once we got him out there and started playing, I think it was in everyone's best interest to just kind of let him keep getting better. And, you know, my hope is that against Utah he can play more and almost, you know, grow his role back to what it was.
Did you feel like he was less effective than normal? And when he wasn't there for the 4 minutes in the first half, he had a passing turnover that looked like maybe he was compromised?
It's hard to tell. I listened to both Justin and both Justins, Justin Kokoski and Justin Coleman. Number one, is he able to play? And then once he's in there, you have to listen to the athlete, because sometimes when they haven't practiced and they're not out there every day, the game feels funny. And I think Justin did the best that he could. It was great that he was even able to contribute at all. But my hope is that he can continue to contribute more with each passing day.
You must be pleased that everybody who played contributed in some way. It was more of a team, collective effort. Yeah.
You know, it was. Usually if you have only 11 turnovers in a 40-minute game, that's pretty good. Where it's not as good for us is most of those came in the second half. Again, it's hard to feel great about everything just because the last 16, 20 minutes, maybe the last 16 minutes, the last 12 minutes, we did not play well. And some of that had to do with Colorado, certainly. But I'm glad that we played as well as we did in the first half to give us the lead.
First game that Justin hasn't started at the point, right? What were your thoughts with Brandon taking over here?
I thought Brandon Williams did an excellent job. That's not an easy situation that he walked into. First Pac-12 game. Brandon, although he's played the one quite a bit this year, he's predominantly played off the ball with Justin being our point guard. So to just kind of throw him to the fire like that, he did a really good job. 6 assists, 2 turnovers. And, you know, he had 50 assists coming in, which is a great number. He's up to 56 now for a young player. That's very impressive. And I believe his shooting will even out over time. He's a better shooter than he's shown, certainly.
You prepared with him to play that position? The last few days of practice, you were expecting?
Yes. And he practices.
He wasn't surprised as well.
When we practice, he always plays the point guard because you need two, red versus blue, and sometimes we'll keep those guys on the same team. But for his own development and to protect our team, you always want to have three guys that can play that position in case of an injury because it can really change everything. So, him and Alex Barcelo are the two others, and, those guys did a good job tonight.
Other than Coleman's injury, you said on Monday, did this break over the New Year come at a good time for you guys, in your opinion? Did they, that break kind of help the team get back together and play a little better tonight, in your opinion?
I don't know. I mean, we're only one game in. We're 1-0. That's what I know. We tried to work really hard over the break. We didn't do anything different this year than in any of the years that I've been here. The only difference is the schedule gave us a little bit more time. But with as many new faces as we have and what we're trying to do, of course, if you practice well, that's going to help you. And our guys are ready to play the game tonight. I think the first half speaks to that. And now it's about us learning from the second half and hopefully having an opportunity to be ready here against Utah. The game comes quickly. A noon game, and that's the Pac-12. Not every conference does this. You have to put behind you something that just happened and quickly move ahead to a brand-new opponent. So the fact we're at home hopefully will help us, the recovery and the focus to get ready.
You're just one game in, obviously an important win. You saw, I'm sure, the Utah score over ASU and how important home games are. Just your thoughts on what's up ahead Saturday in terms of having to play them right away.
Well, anytime a team wins the road game previous to the game that you play them, they feel good. They're confident. I think, obviously, I haven't seen the game, but I know they made a big comeback. I'm sure that they feel great about their second half, where we don't really feel good about ours. So we're going to play against a very confident team, and we have to be ready. For us, we don't have a large margin for error. We have to play well. We have to play hard, and we have to be healthy. Having Justin Coleman not be a part of what we do isn't a good thing. So hopefully we can continue to work him back in. And with Devin Air, in my mind, what Devin Air did, he makes us a deeper team because he's earned the right to play a bigger role. And I was really pleased watching him play. He played today like he practiced, and that's a good sign for a freshman.
With that, the Utah game, is that the way the Pac-12 is going? Did that not surprise you that would happen up in Tempe, or assuming, I don't know what you thought about Utah anyway, but just that they could go down there and I guess the second half they really took it to them.
I haven't watched Utah, but anything can happen in a conference.
DeAndre Ayton being inducted into the Ring of Honor. What do you think about that?
Well-deserved, obviously. He earned it. That's why he's in it. Great to see him there in an Arizona Letterman's jacket, and that's the gift of him playing in Phoenix. He can get in a car, drive down to Tucson, and heck, he was in our locker room. It was almost like he was ready to play in tonight's game. It's just he brings a smile to everybody's face. Like I've said about him hundreds of times, as great of a talent as he is, he has just an incredible mind and personality, and that will prove itself out over his NBA career. But what he did in his year here speaks for itself. Great to see him here. And it was great to have his family here as well.